Let's go ahead and move on to our next part, everybody. We're working on the stack, which is part of the train assembly that you're currently in the middle of. Let's go ahead and start a new sketch. And let's draw our first line, start on that origin, make sure it's directly right and perfectly straight. Type in 0.250 as your dimension. We're going to go vertical for another 0.250. This time we're going to just draw a diagonal line. We'll worry about the dimension in just a minute. And then let's go ahead and draw another diagonal line. Come straight across, make sure you are vertical with that origin, and then come back down and close off the sketch. Look for that green dot to make sure you're actually hitting your origin. Let's add some dimensions in here. So the first dimension we're going to add is coming from this corner here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. From this corner down to our base, the horizontal line. Bring it over, and we're at 1.5 for that value. The next one we're going to do is all the way at the top, so click on that horizontal, click on the bottom horizontal, make sure you're not clicking the endpoints. Bring it over, and we're at 1.75. There we go. We need to add our measurement onto here as far as our angle. So the first thing we need to do is let's go ahead and draw a construction line. The construction lines the computer will completely ignore. They are simply for you to use as a tool. Make sure you come up and unselect construction. If you don't do that, you'll be stuck in construction mode. Let's draw or give our dimension from that line that we just drew to the diagonal line here, and that needs to be simply 5 degrees. And let's go ahead and do our last dimension, which is from this corner to the vertical line, and it's 0.625. There we go. So you can see down here it's saying we still need one dimension. Let's go ahead and right click and hit OK. And let's see if we can figure out which one it is that it might be asking us to dimension. Okay, it seems to be in pretty good shape. So I'm not going to worry too much about that one for right now. So let's go ahead and do our revolve. 3D model, we're going to revolve it. It is a closed sketch, so it selects it automatically for us, but we need to tell it what to revolve around. So let's choose our furthest line that is our center point of this and go ahead and hit OK. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to put a counter depth hole here. So the first thing we need to do is actually select it and choose a new sketch. We need to put a point right here in the middle on our origin. Since we did our initial revolve around that origin, that's how we're fortunate enough to simply put a point in that same spot. So come up here and select point, click on it. It's fully defined because it's in the right spot. Come up to 3D model and click on hole. And you can see that it identified our point. If we had 5 points, it would have been doing them all at the same time right now. Let's go ahead and do a counter bore hole. And we do have a specific distance, so let's go ahead and choose where the termination is distance. The counter bore diameter is 0.875. The counter bore depth is 0.375. The overall depth of the hole is 1.5. And then our diameter of the hole is 0.375. Go ahead and hit OK. Let's rotate around a little bit so you can see what that looks like. You can see the bottom down there. Because we didn't go all the way through it, you can see there's no hole coming through here. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to actually put a chamfer down here on this edge because it will make the transition into the hole it fits into much more smooth. We should always have chamfers on here. So let's go ahead and come up to our 3D model and go to chamfer. And we're going to make it 0.01 and then select that edge. Perfect. And there we have our stack.